Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I gotta say that again because I thought we were at a graduation. Good afternoon, everyone. All right, good. So first, let me say to the class of 2020, congratulations. Please give it up for yourselves. I want to thank the parents that have organized this. Of course, one of my favorite colleagues, Assemblymember Joanne Simon. What many people don't know is that when I first ran for office back in 2018, I was young and stupid and didn't know what I was doing, and Joanne still took a risk on me. Now I'm still young, I'm still stupid, but she's helping me out in the legislature as well. So thank you so much for what you do for the community. Now I know that we did not come out here to hear speeches. We came to celebrate, and so I don't want to take too much time, but I wanted to make sure that every single graduate that is with us today understands that there is no class like the class of 2020. None. And you've heard some of the reasons why that is. Of course, we're living in a global pandemic unlike what we've ever seen in our lifetimes. We are seeing civil unrest unlike what we've seen in our lifetimes. But at the helm of the change that is to come in this world are not the old folks. It's not the system. It is you. The young people. You are changing the world right now. When we have graduations, we often talk about what you will do in the future. And you have very bright futures ahead of you. But you are changing the world this very second. The people who have been leading our protests have been you, the young people. The people who have been at the helm calling out our racial disparities have been the young people. Those who have said our healthcare system treats black people differently than it does white people. It has been the young people. Those who have said the issue of our generation is climate change. It hasn't been the old folks. It has been you. So we celebrate you today. Because you have already begun to change the world. Now, you are entering a new chapter. You are graduating. And there are many, many, many things ahead of you. But I don't want you to get caught up in the exact path that you need to take. What career you have to choose, setting yourself up for what we deem success is. Because the truth is, only one person can determine your path, and that is you. You walk your path no matter what anyone else tells you you're supposed to do. And I'm a living example of that. I'm a Brooklyn boy. Woo! All right, born and raised on Flatbush Avenue. My parents came from another country. They moved to Brooklyn almost 45 years ago. My mom was promised a job in a factory and a mattress in the bedroom of her friend. My dad worked in a factory as well. They sent me to public schools here in Brooklyn. I eventually went to Fordham for college and went to Cornell for law school and then ended up running for office. And along that entire path, I had people telling me that I was doing the wrong thing. Each step of the way, someone said, "Z, are you sure you want to take that risk? Use your talents for something else." One of my biggest critics before I ran for office was the woman that I love the most, my mother. She said, "What are you doing? This is a terrible business. It is ugly. People are petty. You were young. Your whole life is ahead of you. Don't waste your talents on politics. And I said, Mommy, I love you. But I feel that this is the way that I'm going to change the community that I was born and raised in. Yeah. And right now in the Senate, I represent 9 neighborhoods in central Brooklyn. I grew up on Flatbush. I represent Prospect Lethbridge Gardens, Crown Heights, East Flatbush, Brownsville, Prospect Heights, Park Slope, South Slope, Gowanus, and Sunset Park. Woo! Yeah. And it has been the honor of my lifetime, but I would not have been able to serve if I did not take the risk. And so I tell you that story because you are at a juncture in your life where you're going to have to take some risks. And you are going to have doubt. And you're going to have a special group of people in our world that will doubt you as well. I call them haters. Who will say, do something else. Use your talents on something else. But don't believe the haters. Don't believe the haters. Because they're the same people who have accepted the status quo. They're the same ones that have our world in the state that it is in. You can do it the way that you see fit. Take it by the horns. Go out and change the world. As a sitting state senator, I went to a protest 3 weeks ago. And I remember walking down to the Barclays Center, not far from here, and I wore my neon green shirt that said Senator Myrie on the back. And I wore the shirt because at the protest, I wanted to make sure that law enforcement knew who I was and that the protesters knew who I was as well. I was hoping to diffuse any tensions. I went down to be a peacemaker. And my peace was met with pepper spray. 3 weeks ago, me and another colleague of mine in the assembly were pepper sprayed by the police at a peaceful protest. And as I was pepper sprayed, I was put in handcuffs. Now, I grew up in the hood. And I grew up around a lot of police officers. But I had never been pepper sprayed, and I had never been handcuffed. And the first time that happened to me was as a state senator protesting police brutality. Now that is a traumatic experience, and not dissimilar from experiences that you may have had in your life. But 12 days after I was pepper sprayed and arrested, Assemblymember Joanne Simon and I were in Albany passing 10 police reforms. Yeah! Woo! Woo! So we took the pain of that moment and turned it into progress. And I tell you that now to say that the pain of this moment is something that you can use to change the world. It's not just talk. You can actually change the world. So as we celebrate you today, and we celebrate our families as well, because we wouldn't be here without them. So let's give it up for our parents and our families. As we celebrate you today, class of 2020, never forget this moment. No one will be able to say that they graduated in the year that you did. Live with this moment for the rest of your life. Let it be the motivation for you. When times are hard, remember this moment. Remember what you did to stand up to brutality and discrimination and inequity. Remember it and use it as your fuel to make a difference in this world. So I salute all of you. Congratulations to the class of 2020 and good luck the rest of the way.